Okay, what rate of interest compounded annually is required to triple an investment in 10 years? All right, so this one we're talking about a compounded with this keyword. We don't have continuously or anything else, so that means that we're going to use the regular compound interest formula. That's this one, A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the NT. All right, now in this case we have two things that are given. The N is 1 because it's compounded annually, and we also know our time. Our time is 10 years. Now, we're not given any information about the principal or about the amount, but it does tell us we want to triple an investment in 10 years. So this is what we're going to do. If P is my initial principal, that means that afterwards, after the amount, what happens is the investment is going to be tripled after 3 years. So my A, I'm actually going to put 3 times P in there. It's 3 times what the original principal was. If I start out with, let's say, $1,000, and the investment is tripled, that means it's going to go to $3,000. That means that your amount you have is going to be triple the amount you originally started with. So we can say the same thing algebraically. We're going to say that the amount that I'm going to get in the end is going to have to be 3 times what initially it was. So by knowing this, I'm going to put this information in the formula. I have 3P, so again that's triple. Now keep in mind too, if it says the word double, then I would have a 2P here instead of a 3P. But this one's got the word triple, so triple means you're tripling your initial investment. Your initial investment we're calling P's. That's where we get the 3P from. 3P equals P times 1 plus your rate. We don't know what that is. That's what we're trying to solve for because it's asking for what rate of interest. So we don't know that one. I'm just going to put an R there. That's the unknown. Down below here I have my N. My N is 1. And then this is going to be 1 times T. Your T is going to be 10 years. We're given that information as well. What we notice about this right here is you can actually cancel the P's out from both sides. We can divide both sides by P. It cancels out. And we just get 3 equals 1 plus R, and that's going to be to the 10th power. So now, because of all that cancels, we only have one variable left to solve for, and that's the R which they're originally asking us for. Now in order to do this, we need to free up and get rid of the parentheses that are here, so I have to get rid of the 10 somehow. The way you do that is you're going to take the 10th root of this side. And the reason why we're doing the 10th root is because the 10th root is going to actually cancel out the 10 that's inside here. So this 10 and that 10, both of those are going to cancel. But when you do the one side, you have to also do to the other side as well. So we're going to do a 10th root here of 3. Now whenever you take an even root of something, you should be putting plus or minus on that. However, we don't want to have a negative interest rate, so we're going to ignore the minus answer. We're just going to consider the positive root only in this case. But you really do get plus or minus. We're only considering the positive rate. So here the 10s are both going to cancel, and you get the 10th root of 3 is equal to 1 plus R. Then you're going to subtract 1 from both sides, and you get the 10th root of 3 minus 1. That's going to be your R. Now this we need to approximate because it says round your answer to the nearest thousand. So we have to actually work this out. If we put the first one into our calculator, that's 1.116123 with some more decimals that come after it. Then we're going to subtract 1, and then that will be our R when we do that. When we subtract the 1 from it, then of course we get 0.116123, again with more decimals, that equals R. When we change it into a percent, we're going to move the decimal place 2 places over, this time to the right. So we're going to have 11.61, and we only need to round it to 3 places because that's what thousandth would be. So moving this over 2 places, you get 11 point, and then you want 3 decimals after, or 3 numbers after the decimal point. That would be your thousand. So your answer would be 11.612%. That would be the interest rate that would be required in order for us to be able to triple our initial investment. Now again, it doesn't matter what the initial investment is, it doesn't matter. You're going to whatever that is, you're going to triple that in 10 years if you have this interest rate here, 11.612. So again, right here, you make sure you don't put 0.1116 down for the answer, because if you're asking for the actual rate of interest, they're looking for a percent there for that answer. So you don't want to just leave it as that decimal. You do want to make sure you move it 2 places over, or you can also multiply the decimal by 100. That will also do that as well. Move the decimal place over to here, and then you want 3 places after that one. So that's why it's 11.612.